Hey girl, hey! You are listening to the Cherry Lounge podcast, and I am your host, Tanisha Cherry. In today's episode, I'm going to be talking about influencer marketing for the very first time on any of my platforms. Today, I'll specifically be talking about pitching, how to pitch brands, what it means to pitch, and whether you should be pitching. If you have any questions about influencer marketing, whether you're a blogger, YouTuber, social media personality, TikTok creator, whatever you want to call yourself, this is the episode for you. And if there's any questions that you have after the podcast that I didn't answer, make sure you send me a message and I'll answer them on a future episode of the podcast. Don't forget your pen and paper because I'm going to be dropping a lot of gems. So let's get into the episode. I hope you guys are having a great day. My day has been super productive and I'm feeling really positive and awesome. So that's really good. I'm recording in my bedroom right now as usual, but my mind keeps wandering off to the amount of PR that I've received in the last 60 days that is still sitting in my living room. It's opened, I've sorted it, but it's in the living room and my mind just keeps thinking about it because it's invading my space. I am going to assume that you guys all follow me on Instagram at tanisha.cherry, and if you're not, I'm only judging you a little bit. Lies. I am side-eyeing the hell out of you. Y'all need to go support your girl. Follow me on Instagram at tanisha.cherry, okay? If you are following me, you'll notice that I started back doing unboxings on my IG stories. There are lots of opinions online about unboxings, and I personally don't care what anyone thinks, to be honest. It's not that deep. If you don't like it, keep swiping. Like, who cares? We don't need to have a whole dissection of it and analysis. It's not a think piece. I like watching other people's unboxings. I like doing them. And my online community enjoys watching it. So you can catch me every Saturday or Sunday posting a roundup of everything I received that week. It's a lot easier to digest than a daily post, so I like doing the ones at the end of the week. It works out better. These unboxings have been a really great gauge for me to see what products you guys have tried and what you want the tea on. And it's been a fun segue into, skincare chat with y'all. It's been really interesting. These unboxings have also brought on a new wave of questions in my DMs from other creators wondering, girl, how the hell are you getting all this stuff? Tell me that. So let me start off with some small housekeeping about myself as a creator because, again, this is something I've never really talked about too much on my platform. So I have almost 12K followers on Instagram. I do get paid for my sponsored posts that I do. I have no agent/management representation, no IG hubby, no extra help from a friend. I am a one-woman show. And I've done lots of research on every section of the industry to improve myself on both the business and creative side. So that's where a lot of my knowledge is coming from, not just experience, but really doing the research, asking people questions, and having different mentors and talking with other girls in the industry too who have the same following as me, smaller following than me, and even larger platforms than I do. So that's definitely helped me. But back to the original question, how do you get all this stuff? The answer is pitching. What is pitching? Pitching is what we creators call reaching out to brands to introduce ourselves in hopes of eventually working with them in a paid capacity. There are a lot of creators who do not pitch, and they rely solely on brands randomly coming across their page and reaching out to them. I am so against this. Pitching is another form of networking, and the more you put into it, the more you'll get out of it. So pitch. I just don't understand why people don't do it. It honestly bothers me. There are millions of creators of all following sizes and creative abilities. From the brand perspective, they're going to go with people that they see other brands working with, other creators hanging out with, known people with huge followings, people that are recommended to them from their colleagues, and other people they randomly come across on social media through branded hashtags. When you think of it like that, you're basically leaving it up to chance. So it doesn't matter who you are and your following size, you should always be pitching to brands to let them know that you're interested in working with them. Honestly, perfect example. It's like when you see a cute guy and you play all these mind games in hopes that he'll notice you and ask you out. Fuck that shit. You have to put your best foot forward. Walk up to that cutie, give him a compliment, and introduce yourself. How do you expect to stand out from the pack of other girls if you're choosing to blend in by standing right in the mix of everyone else, doing what everyone else is doing? Be different. I know some of us fear rejection, but y'all got to get over it. You honestly have to. No is not a bad word. Repeat after me. No is not a bad word. So put yourself out there. The worst that's going to happen is that things won't pan out the way you want, and you ultimately remain in the same position that you started in. And there's nothing wrong with that. In the long run, you're one step closer to where you're destined to be. Not where you want to be, but where you're destined to be. A lot of times there's a bigger and better picture mapped out for us, and everything we're doing right now is just preparation. So keep that in mind, okay? Next. When should you start pitching? This is a question I notice a lot of creators not asking themselves, and they should. When you should start pitching has nothing to do with your following size, but more so with what content you currently have out and available. I recommend that you only start pitching when you have live content covering the industry of the brand you're wanting to pitch. If all you normally cover is hair, a brand is going to be very apprehensive about wanting to gift you alcohol products, let alone work with you in a paid capacity on a campaign. Why? Because you've never talked about alcohol on your page before, and you don't showcase any social aspects about yourself in a setting where you're consuming alcohol. So how do they know that you're going to be able to produce alcohol-related content? And then how do they know that your audience isn't just going to skip over it, looking for the hair content that they're used to? These brands are not about to play Russian roulette with you. So before you even start dipping in the pitching arena, you need to focus on, number 1, your purpose, 2, building your content catalog, and 3, building an engaging relationship with your online community. Once you have that foundation laid, you'll have a solid idea of whether you and your online community is aligned with a brand and what you can deliver for that brand. Moving along. How do I pitch? Send an email. It's just that easy. When people always send me a DM, it's like, how do I start pitching? You send an email, like, you got to give me something more specific than that, okay? And then my favorite, how do I find a contact email for a brand? Well, you can slide in their DMs and ask for it. You can comment on their Instagram page if they've posted a recent post in the last hour, I'd say, because they do go through those comments and engage with them. So definitely hit them in their comments. Hit the email in their bio or on the contact page of their website, and also check Google for recent press releases by them. There are so many ways you can find an email for a brand, and if you want to learn more, I do offer 1-hour influencer consultations through my website, tanishacherry.com/product/influencer consultation. In this 1-hour consultation, we'll go over your goals, any questions you have, and yeah. So all those people asking me to meet up for coffee to pick my brain about how to get started, this is for you. I do charge for a 1-hour consultation, so definitely hit me up for more questions about that. All right, so let's talk about email for a minute. Your email should be short. These representatives at these brands are like employees at any other corporate company. They have assignments, tasks, long meetings, training, conference calls with their clients, performance reviews, lunch breaks, whatever. And they get a large amount of daily emails, not just from influencers and their agents, but from their bosses and their team members. So when you're drafting your email, get to the point. And I'm speaking about experience when I'm sharing all this information with you guys, what has worked for me. So here's an email example. Hi, Ashley. I hope you had a sun-filled weekend. My name is Tanisha Cherry. I am a content creator who covers all things skincare and beauty on my platform. I love that ABC Company takes their time to research and develop skincare for people with sensitive skin like myself. The So Gentle cleanser has been a great addition to my skincare routine. Please let me know if there are any paid opportunities available. I'd love to be considered. Thank you, Tanisha Cherry. 2 email pro tips I want to share with you guys. Make sure in the first line of your email, when you state your name, you hyperlink it to your most active social media account with the largest audience. For those of you that don't know what it means to hyperlink, it's when you make a word or a phrase a clickable link, and you attach whatever website link you want for them to be directed to when they click on it. So for me, I always hyperlink my Instagram. The reason you're doing this is because when someone is reading your email, the first thing they think is, who is Tanisha Cherry? Before they even finish your email. So you want to answer that question for them right away by creating that hyperlink. When they click on the link to your page, they're about to be really nosy. So make sure that your page is on point, because they're going to look at how many followers you have, your most recent content, the quality of your content, your engagement, and whether you have a consistent dialogue with your online community. They are going to want to look over everything before they even finish your email. So it's just a fact that they're going to creep you. So you just want to start that at the beginning, and obviously your page is the bomb. You have great engagement. You posted a story recently and they probably laughed at it, and they're going to go back to your email and finish it because they're going to be like, okay, I want to see what this girl has to say. Pro tip number 2. In your signature, make sure to add all your social media links from most active to least. For example, I have thank you Tanisha Cherry, and then I have my Instagram link again, then my podcast, then my YouTube, then my blog. Ideally, I would love to have my website first, but it's my least active platform, and I don't want them to see that and be turned off. You always want to represent yourself in the best life possible, so that's just how I do it personally. Next thing, we're still in the email portion for those of you guys that are taking notes. So when Ashley, the PR girl, gets back to you, make sure you respond the same day or early the next business day. It's really important to be professional and be easy to communicate with. So make sure you're always checking your emails daily, and always your spam and junk folder to make sure nothing important went in there. Now, Ashley, the PR girl, is either going to say one of 3 responses, and I'm going to go over each one. So the first one being, hi Tanisha, so happy to hear that you love our So Gentle cleanser. It's a personal favorite of mine too. My face is extremely sensitive, and it's the only cleanser that cleanses my skin without stripping it dry and causing inflammation. We don't currently have any paid campaigns available, but we'll be sure to keep you in mind for any opportunity that presents itself. In the meantime, we'd be happy to send you any flawless skincare goodies you'd like to try. Just let us know the best place to send it. Okay, so for that response, it's amazing. She liked you. She shared something personal about herself that you guys have in common. So this is a really good sign. Okay. The next one is, hi Tanisha, so happy to hear that you love our So Gentle cleanser. It's a personal favorite of mine too. I love your content, and we do have a fall campaign that we are still working out the details for. I will circle back at the end of the month with more details. That's awesome as well. Okay, that means they want to work with you now. The third one is, hi Tanisha, thank you for reaching out. At this time, we do not have any paid campaigns, and we'll keep you in mind for future opportunities that are a good fit. Now, regardless of the response you get, you should always respond back with a request to schedule a phone call or a Zoom meeting to share more about your brand and for them to share more about their brand with you. A phone call is a lot more personable and memorable than any email. So when you schedule that phone call, make sure to have some talking points prepared. Your purpose, what you've been talking about recently on your social media, that's been super relatable to your online community, and this should align with the brand also. And also some questions for the brand. What messages are they trying to communicate this year? What upcoming product launches and activations do they have in the works? All that stuff. Be prepared. Also, when you get on the call, be personable. Ask them how their week's been. We're in the midst of a pandemic, so ask them if they're working from home or if they're back in the office. How are they liking the transition? Stuff like that. Okay, so try and be personable. Another thing, when a brand asks you what products you're interested in trying for them, actually go through their website Try to pick something that they've recently launched. Try and check out a product that is a cult favorite. And then also check out things that, are concerns for your skin right now, because you want to try products that you're actually going to use that may potentially work really great for your skin that you can actually talk about. So it's really good to try customized goodies that are going to be for your specific skincare concerns or just your specific product concerns, because it could be hair, it could be makeup, it could be whatever. Just try to always push for things that you'll actually use. Especially being a dark-skinned Black girl, complexion products, make sure, homegirl, you are telling them which complexion product is yours. We don't need any problems in that area. All right, so when a brand does send you PR, maintain the lines of communication. Examples of this is let them know when you received it and say thank you. Okay, a thank you goes a very long way, so don't forget your manners, people. Also, send them an email of your experience after using it for a couple weeks. Next up, if you decide to post, which you should really try to do organically, obviously, make sure to tag them in all your content and also send them an email with a link to the content in case they missed it. And for stories, do a screen recording and send it to them, okay? Lastly, in addition to maintaining the lines of communication, make sure to keep tabs on the PR contact and the brand. Follow them on Instagram, comment on their content that is unrelated to the brand, send them personal emails congratulating them on new product launches or personal milestones. That may all sound like a given, but in business, people seem to forget that we're all human, and it's nice to have people send you a just because message that are unrelated to what they want from you, okay? So remember to be human. If a person only asked me about influencer shit and never asked me how I'm doing, I wouldn't really be too quick to respond to them, let alone put money in their pockets. So remember that. When it comes to pitching, there are 3 P's to remember, okay? Your purpose, your professionalism, and a positive attitude. That is Pitching 101. I hope you all found this helpful. I want to make this a straightforward episode with no fluff, just getting right into pitching. So I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you want to see more episodes like this, definitely let me know. Send me a DM at tanisha.cherry on Instagram or at Cherry Lounge Podcast. I'd be more than happy to do more episodes like this. Maybe we could do once a month, an influencer marketing related one, and I can put up a poll and you guys can ask me some questions and I can just go from there. So also make sure to share to your stories, plus tag me in at Cherry Lounge Podcast on Instagram to show that you're listening to today's episode, and I'll be sure to repost you. Thank you so much for listening to the Cherry Lounge Podcast. If you haven't already, make sure that you give me a 5-star rating and a review, and also tell me what you enjoyed about today's episode. I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.